Today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh. Hey Grains, and welcome to the episode I call Did I Get Scammed? Arts and Crafts Edition. The other week, I went ahead and got some Gucci handbags. Now, are they real? I don't know, but when I asked the seller, they said they think they're real.
But Jackie, what do you mean they think it's real?
I am glad you asked. Basically, I got this from a website called Kijiji, which is similar to Craigslist, which is similar to Facebook Marketplace. They're all very similar. And someone was selling these each for $60. Now, I know many of you are going to tell me that these are usually worth hundreds of dollars, but do I look like I know anything about brand name things? My t-shirts are basically the cheapest you can find out there. And this is how the texting went. I will not show the actual posting simply because you Grains are detectives. I know that you can find anything if you wanted to. With your little detective hats and your little detective mustacho. Yeah, I know you're clever. I wouldn't put anything past you. And this is how the texting went. Hi, are they available? Yes. Are they real? I think so. Found them while decluttering my grandma's house since she's moving. Okay, so $60 each? Yes. And then basically we went ahead and made the arrangements. They look pretty new. I mean, it comes in a baggie like this. I've never bought anything like this. Grains, give me a second. We will find out together what are the signs of the fake Gucci's. And yes, the goal of this is not just to find out if they're fake, but I actually want to customize them. And whether they're real or not, I know I don't use handbags, so I'll just give them away. If you want to know more information about giveaway details, wait until the end of the video. Because if they're real, I'm pretty sure I brought their value down. And if they're fake, then I probably brought their value up. Either way, win-win for whoever gets them. All right, so let's go ahead and unbag this here. Wait, where's the, oh, okay, there it is. But before we do that, for those of you new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe or I will threaten you empty threats with a sharp pointy thing. Make sure you click on all notifications while you're there. Don't worry, we like sharp pointy things. So just to be clear, I do have two of them. It appears that one of them has a pink kind of handle. So let's start with this one here. And I mean, I don't even know what to look for right now. It does feel pretty heavy. I really can't tell good quality from bad. All right, let's remove all the plastic things. How do you remove this? How does this? So here's what it looks like. It seems like there's a sticker on top of the Gucci thing right here. So here it is. And there's a tag over here that says Gucci Controlato and then number 1 to 0. Is this a typical thing or not? And okay, so there seems to be a tag that was kind of removed, but we do have the numbers 9. So this could be a 6 or a 5. Maybe it was 900 bucks. Maybe it was 95 bucks. Was grandma doing counterfeit shopping? I don't know. I'm just presenting you Grains with the evidence that I don't know anything of, and I'm pretty sure you're going to tell me whether or not this is fake. Here's a close-up. The pattern is a little blurry. Again, I don't know if this is normal. We have zippers, and the zipper here says Gucci, and then what's this? Made in Italy. Is it now? Let's check the inside. What if the zipper is made in Italy, but the actual inside isn't? So we have another zipper, says the same thing. Oh, and here's the inside. We seem to get another baggie. Again, says Gucci made in Italy. Okay, there's a little strap. I guess this is a purse within a purse. And maybe it's a makeup bag. I don't know. And on the inside, another strap. And we have the Gucci tag with made in Italy. Maybe this is real. Maybe it is. Okay, the inside is like so. We have the Gucci liner like so. So it's all over the place. It's kind of double lined. It feels plasticky. I guess waterproof maybe. I'm starting to think this is probably real. How much is a Gucci handbag? Oh, those are expensive. What the shrimp? Do people actually pay this? So at first glance, the smallest of the Gucci bags, and I'm talking a small handbag, is $2,980. That's expensive. I have goosebumps. Who pays this? And I'm thinking the ones I have would be about $3,000 if they would be about this size over here. If they are real. I mean, it's not a huge handbag, but it is pretty... Oh, wait, what the heck? On the inside of the handle, I see this. Is that normal? Or is that a defect? Or is it real, but there's defects, so that's why it's cheap? I don't know what grandma has been doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and find out how to tell if a Gucci bag is fake. All right, so one of the first things we're going to look at, according to this website, is the hardware. So all the zippers should have the Gucci logo, which they actually do. And they don't feel flimsy or bad quality. They actually have some weight to them. Look at that. Yeah, good for you. They also say that they should come in a kind of bag that's either black or white or brown, so it doesn't really tell us much. Yes, it does come in this baggy thing. It is smooth, so that doesn't tell us anything. It also says that it comes with a contralado tag. So for us, yes, that is the case, but these numbers are kind of sus to me. I'm not sure if this is just fake numbering, possibly. We just do have a tag with a number here, but this makes me think that the 9 can't be 900 because these things are like thousands of dollars. It also talks about stitching, but I know nothing about stitching and it does seem consistent to me. And then here it says that we should be getting a serial number. It says more often than not that is the quickest way to spot a fake. So, okay, so there should be a leather tag on the inside, which we did see. Okay, so here's our leather tag right here. It does feel a little flimsy. Then again, I really don't remember what real leather feels like. And we should get a serial number behind it. And no, I guess not. But everything else seems pretty legit though. I don't know. I'm going to go with the assumption that they are fake because thousands of dollars. Unless they really don't care about grandma and her purchases and they just want to get rid of it. But I don't know. But you know what I do know? Oh, and I did forget to show you grains that we do have a second one because I was so focused on one of them. I'm like,
I need to customize it.
But then I was like, is it fake? And then I got sidetracked because my brain, it goes this way and then sometimes it goes that way. And then there's a happy middle somewhere. But more often than not, my brain is in 3 different locations at once. Not very good at multitasking. So this one has a pink handle. Same thing, this here is wrapped. Curious if there's that weird color thing on the inside. So on the inside, it doesn't seem like we have any colors, but on this side we do. We also have the Controlado, also numbers 1 to 0. And in the back, we still seem to get this 9 over here. And then we have the Gucci thing all wrapped up. Voila. Same thing. Do we have, yeah, we still have the logo and made in Italy. Same thing on the inside. Oh, the tag is pink. That is cute. Nope, we still don't get any kind of serial number. But the backing on this one is much nicer though. Still very plasticky on the inside. So I'm gonna continue operating as though this is fake, hopefully, or whatever. I don't care. It's not like I'm gonna wear it anyways. All right, so hear me out. We have the one with the black handle here, and the idea I want to pull from is basically an inspiration from my Polaroid customization, which is a kind of koi fish environment. And then for the one with the pink handle, I want to again go with the theme of pink. So I'm going to make it cute and pastel-y and rainbowy and colorful. Make sure you let me know in the comment section below which one of the 2 designs is going to be your favorite. Make your prediction right now, and then at the end of the video, let me know if your prediction was right, if you preferred the fishy one or if you preferred the cute one. All right, so first things first is we're going to use something called Epoxy Sculpt, which is basically a part A and part B that when you mix it together is going to give us a type of clay that air dries, and when it hardens, oh my god, I love it so much. Absolutely wonderful, because it becomes rock hard solid. And so here we go making our first koi fish. The reason I'm using the epoxy instead of clay for this one is because it is a bigger piece and I want to avoid it breaking, especially because our surface is made of cloth. And if it's too flexible, it might break, but I will be experimenting later on and we'll see later. Just wait for the second one. The method, as you see, is so easy. You just make a carrot shape, pinch it down, and then once we have that shape, we're going to go ahead and add the fins on the front, add the fins in the back, and then the fins on top. By the way, I am using water to smooth out the epoxy, that way it doesn't get too crumbly as you saw. For the details, I'm taking my blade, dunking it in a little bit of water, and then making cool little swipes. For the tail fins, it's basically putting putting two sides together. Looking at it in one shape can make it a little bit more complex, but I find this way is just right. So kind of just think about it in halves is what I'm trying to say. Oh my god. And again, adding more detail with my blade. I always use reference pictures, so don't ever feel bad if you need to use reference pictures. Similarly to the other parts, we're using a texture with the back part of my blade. We don't want anything too sharp, but again, we still want it to be a little bit wet. Humid, if I might say. Wet. I'm not gonna say the other word. It's annoying. And on my favorite part, we're going to add texture. And we're going to be adding texture basically with this thing over here, which is one of my favorite tools. It's basically the thing that my garlic came in at the grocery store, and it makes the most epic kind of scales texture. So there you go. I'm using a ball tool in order to create the indents for the eyes. And here is our first little koi fish. We're going to let this sit and harden for about 6 hours. Now, in the meantime, as this is drying, I want to try a clay that is just phenomenal according to what I hear, and it is Cause clay. This clay is supposed to be really flexible, but at the same time very durable. So we're going to make one koi fish out of that clay, and the process and the steps are exactly the same, except this clay, for those of you who don't know, is an oven baked clay, which means it'll harden in about half an hour. I guess whoever wins this bag is going to see which one lasts longer. I'm sorry that you are part of my experiment, but c'est la vie. Before we go on, let's talk about today's sponsor, which are huge supporters of this channel, HelloFresh. For those of you who don't know HelloFresh, they are America's #1 meal delivery kit service. Which means you don't need to go out and find your shopping because it comes straight to your door. Which means you don't need to waste the average 41 minutes going to the store, because with HelloFresh, you get to skip that trip and get everything you need to make chef-curated meals. Not just that, but the meals from HelloFresh are absolutely delicious. They put combinations of food I've never thought of. And I'm pretty picky with food, which means it pushes me out of my constant rut of the same meals over and over. So whether you're pescatarian, carb smart, or even just looking for veggie meals, HelloFresh has you covered with produce directly from farmers. Let's try one of the recipes. Squash ravioli. Let's cut our veggies and poof, magic. And in ya go. Bon appetit, it smells so good. Mmm. The balance of the creamy filling and the sweet peppers, delicious. I'm normally not brave enough to make ravioli. In addition to saving time and eating delicious foods, HelloFresh can help you eat more sustainably because the ingredients are pre-portioned. That means no waste. Not to mention the packaging HelloFresh uses to ship your food is made of recyclable or already recycled material. So what are you waiting for? Check the link down below, hellofresh.com, and use the code NERDYCRAFTER14 to get up to 14 free meals across your first 5 HelloFresh boxes. Plus free shipping. Thank you HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video and being huge supporters of this channel. So now that our koi fish are on their basic readiness, because we still have to spray paint them later, we'll do that later, I want to make a water effect on the bag itself. And for that, we're going to be following a how to draw a water effect tutorial by Gremrin. And this video on TikTok has over 5 million views. The basic concept is 3 different shades of colors. The darkest one goes at the bottom, then medium, and you make some swirly type of shapes. I am so nervous for this effect, but I guess we'll see how that ends up. And then on top, you put the lightest color. So it should give you something that basically looks like this. So without further delay, let's go ahead and paint the bottom. And I want my darkest color to be this kind of burgundy-ish, purplish brown. And then we'll take it from there. I'm so nervous. I could have gone with blue, but I don't want it to be like raw, right? Like in your face. But we're gonna get there. We'll see if I mess up. That's just part of the process, I say. And so basically for the layer, I'm using the jacquard paint simply because it does say it's made for fabrics and fake type of fabrics. And I'm just blocking in the shape that I want it to be.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
All right, now that our base is actually all dried up, I'm going to use the Posca pens because if we look at the tutorial again, one of the color schemes is a dark blue, which is kind of purplish, then a light blue and a yellow. I'm going to do the exact same color scheme because it
spoke to me.
But also the reason I chose a purplish color, I wanted it to kind of blend into the brown type theme. of this bag because it does have a purplish tone on the GG, those little things right here. All right, so let's go ahead and try. I am so nervous, but first we're gonna shake these good paint markers. So basically we're going to block in some shapes like so. Oh my god, this is scary. I don't know what I'm doing. So little shapes, big shapes, kind of like a so. All right, let me block in more shapes. And so I went ahead and hesitantly started to making the same kind of rounded blocks as the tutorial mentioned. And I have to say, it's a lot less scary once you start. You're like, oh, I get it. And good. Look at it. I am so proud of myself. I didn't think I would be able to get it on the first try, but holy carp, it is beautiful. Thank you, Gremlin. Thank you to this TikToker. And now basically I'm going to try the exact same thing, but this time with yellow. So we're gonna really have some nice contrasts going on. I love yellow with blue and purplish colors. So we're gonna go nice and easy and slow. But again, yellow is not exactly opaque, so we're probably gonna have to either juice it up quite a bit or go over it a second time. I really am impressed with this. This is absolutely gorgeous. I had zero faith in me is basically what I'm trying to say. All right, so we're gonna put this aside because now we're going to go ahead and paint the fish. What does that mean? Airbrush montage. I'm going to go with very classic colors on the koi fish. One of them is going to be orangey with some markings. The other one's going to be white with some markings. And off camera, I did make 3 little lily pad things. Those are just going to be green. Absolutely love painting with an airbrush because it gives things a more organic look. It's not a solid color because rarely is anything in life a solid color, and I could have technically made these as a white base and then airbrushed over it, but I figured, nah, I'm gonna do it this way. Well, it appears that I was wrong. I probably should have put a base coat on this one because it'd be looking brown. So I ended up putting a coat of white and then continued with the spray orange. And so now that all our pieces are done, all that's left to do is use some of the Gorilla Epoxy glue, put them right under, and then we're going to leave it overnight for the best adhesion, fingers crossed.
Tomorrow.
And here we are the next day. It is absolutely adorable. I mean, look at it. You could just go around and be like do 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 do, and you have your little fishy Gucci bag or fake Gucci bag. I'm not here to judge, but at least you have a custom bag. I am absolutely in love with the koi fish and the little bits of lily pads right on top. And if you're worried if the koi fish are going to come off, trust me, the epoxy glue, let me hold it that way, is there to stay. Look at it. It won't move. It is there to stay. So it is pretty solid on there. It is so cute. Oh my god. If only I were into brand name things, then I probably would have kept it, but I just don't care for brand name things. And of course, off camera, I'm going to give these to a top coat to make sure that the airbrush paint stays on there. We don't want any leakage if it gets slightly wet. And of course, on the bottom right, I'm going to add my little signature. Don't forget to let me know in the comment section below which of the 2 that we're making today is going to be your favorite. You can either make a prediction or just wait until the end to see the last one that we're making. Which brings us to Gucci bag number 2. This one I want to kind of work with the pinkish theme, so I want to make it cute. I know it's very unlike me. I know
I'm dark in my soul.
Even though I like colors.
I'm still dark in my soul.
But for this one, I feel like the pink is kind of candy-esque. So in addition to making a cute little rainbow, and the fun thing is, this bag basically supplied us with the lines that we can use to make sure that our rainbow lines are even. That makes me very happy. I do not need to worry about measuring things. And then we're going to add a chocolatey type drizzle. And I made some sprinkles. And I do have some dessert themed type cabochons, so flat backs like these. It makes sense in my head, so just stay tuned for that. But before we do that, we need to mix our paint. For that, I'm going to be using, again, the jacquard because they are nice pigments, but I want them to be a pastel-y type color. I don't want the colors to be too harsh, so I went ahead and made a palette of 6 nice pastel-y rainbows. And I started at the line under the Gucci logo. And we're going to make it diagonal across the entire bag. Well, across that that line that goes all the way through. This part was pretty straightforward, so I'm pretty happy that we really had those guidelines, because that was where I was like, how am I gonna get these lines equal? But then the bag did it for me, thankfully. Now that our colors are down, I was like, how do I want the frosting? Do I want it on one side? Do I want it on the other side? Do I just want it at the bottom? Like, this was going to be awkward. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it in between each color. That's probably why, for those of you who were annoyed that I didn't fill all the gaps in between, it's basically because that's exactly where I wanted to put the chocolate drizzle. For those of you wondering, yes, I am using fabric paint because it makes some pretty cool 3D frosty type effect. Once our chocolate is between each layer, I went ahead and used my cabochons of M&Ms. Oh my god, so tiny and cute. I love it. And of course, my homemade sprinkles with polymer clay. There's plenty of tutorials out there to learn how to make them, but basically the idea is you roll your polymer clay very thin, you bake it, and then when it's out of the oven, you go, you just break it by hand. That's how you could technically break it with a knife, but I went in manually, is what I will always say. And since this is a rainbow, we went ahead and did the sprinkles one at a time. Otherwise, I feel like Mariah Elizabeth would probably show up here and punish me somehow. And me good. Here it is. You can see it up close, but when we zoom out, this looks absolutely adorable. I haven't spent nearly as much time as I did with the koi fish, which took me a few days. And basically this one I had to wait for the drying time. But as you can see, this looks really cute. It just goes to show you don't need to spend an eternity to make something custom look absolutely adorable. I spent a few hours on this, and I have to say, I'm having a hard time choosing which one's my favorite. You can see them both on screen here, both side to side. Let me know again which one you like. And for the giveaway, you're going to find in the description box below a little Google form, and all the information about how to enter is also in the description box below. So make sure that you are allowed to enter if you are underage. And for all other grains, just make sure that you do answer the quiz question correctly. If you want to watch a previous customization, make sure you check up here. And if you want to watch something a little more reviewy, make sure you check down here. Until then, I will see you grains in the next video.